It's Saturday night, I've got a drink in hand, and I thought I'd look at this post which caught my eye. It's from the AskMen subreddit. What are the pros and cons of having a girlfriend slash being in a relationship? First guy has a list of pros: physical intimacy and contact, from sex to having someone to hug at night. Well, I think this is the main reason most men go into relationships. It's that physical intimacy with a woman. That's no secret, is it? There's no better feeling than lying in bed beside someone who you find very attractive and to have that physical bond. I think even guys from the Blackpool community or the Manosphere community, even they could probably admit in secrecy that that is something they miss in their life, is having that physical intimacy with a woman. I know some guys go down the escort route, so each to their own. But for me, that physical intimacy with someone who has genuine desire for you, there's nothing quite like it. So, yeah, that's certainly a pro for sure. Next point, someone who gives emotional support and having someone you can rely on. Yeah, having someone in your corner and someone who's there for you, who wants to listen to you and give you support, and especially if you're going through a difficult time in your life, to have that person there for you is really important. Now, you've got to be careful with this. You don't want to always go to her for emotional support. Sometimes it's good to go to your guy mates for some of that advice that you can't quite get from your girlfriend. You don't want to always go to your girlfriend and talk about how difficult life is and how difficult work is, because she wants you to be her rock. She wants to come to you for advice and to feel like you're in control of everything and you're in control of your feelings. Now, you are human. It's okay to go to her on certain occasions, especially, for example, if a family member's died. Obviously, you want to open up to her and not be such a cold fish, but don't go to her every week with your problems and emotions, because in the end that will actually turn her off. So you've got to be careful with that. So this guy has a few points. Another pro: many activities are so much more fun when enjoyed together. Yeah, I agree. Some activities I do with my girlfriend are better because she's by my side. Now, it's important to have your own hobbies and do your own activities. Sometimes I enjoy going to the gym by myself. I enjoy going on walks by myself sometimes. Obviously, I have my hobby of playing video games, which she's not into. So it's important to have time to yourself and have your own hobbies. But yeah, going on holiday together, going to a bar together, going on long walks together, it's always great to have someone that you love spending time with by your side. So absolutely, but again, like the second point, it's good to have that balance. She helps give you goals. Now, I hope he means that you're creating your own goals and she supports you during that process. For me personally, like, I want to be a better man and earn more money and be a better person for her in some ways. Like, obviously I'm doing it for myself, but I want to impress her. I want her to live the best life possible. I want, even if the relationship doesn't go the distance, I want her to look back on this relationship and think, wow, I gained so much from that guy, and wow, I had a great time with that guy. Like, I want to have a positive influence on her life. So that's a goal that I set myself. And yeah, I do want to earn more money. I do want to have a better job. So her being by my side does actually push me that little bit further. That pushes me that extra rep in the gym. So, you know, without her even trying, I feel like my goals and my values increase just because of that. Someone else has given a pro saying it expands your social circles and new experiences. Um, yeah, it's good to meet more people, and you can do that by who your girlfriend is in social circles with. But ideally, I like to keep it to my own friends. I'll be nice to her friends. If we go out for a drink, I'll enjoy their company. But after that, I'm not going to add them on Facebook or Instagram. So I slightly agree with that, but not. I don't want to say that's a massive pro, to be honest. Safety net. Sometimes life hits you hard, and you need taken care of by someone who truly cares about you. Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're older, you want that person to be by your deathbed and support you. Um, they do say, what's it? When the marriage vows are taken, through sickness and health, through richer and poorer. Unfortunately, we see a lot with divorces that women don't stick around when life does get tough. But if you find that person, that unicorn, so to speak, who does stick by you through thick and thin, that's fantastic. But they're very rare to come by. Really, you need to be your own safety net. You can't rely on her. But yeah, I'd like to think if I was in an accident, she'd be by my side. But she'd be very much expecting me to make a full recovery so I can be the man and leader again, to be honest. Now let's get into some cons, because I'm obviously been a bit too happy here. It must be the beer I have by my side. So here's a con. Less free and me time. My gaming time is a third of what it used to be. My workout time is halved. You gotta have that balance. You gotta have your own hobbies and your own time to yourself, and you can easily make that free time if you set boundaries and you say, look, I love spending time with you, but I need some time in my man cave, and that's what you got to set out very early on, or she's gonna walk all over you. But yeah, of course, you're gonna be spending a lot of time with her, and there will be times where you don't get to do your hobbies as much because you're spending time with her. But you do need to have that balance for sure. Relationships require a lot of physical effort and emotional effort. Yeah, relationships are difficult, but if you're with the one, so to speak, the relationship should be effortless. There's going to be rocky parts, and this is a girl you're dealing with. Like, they have a lot of emotions, and you're going to have to control a lot of situations. But overall, if she's a great girl, then it should be a drama-free relationship, and you should feel happier, more relaxed because you're in a relationship with her. And if you're feeling more stress and drama, then maybe you should consider she might not be the right girl for you. This is a funny one. So someone's put, seeing all these hot girls in the gym but can't sleep with them. I don't think many guys who are single are approaching hot girls in the gym anyway, so I don't think it makes much difference if you're in a relationship, to be honest. But yeah, look, when you're in a committed monogamous relationship, yeah, you're going to see beautiful women around who, you're loyal to your woman, so you wouldn't dare, speak to them or get flirty with them and try and progress things, because you're a loyal, genuine, respectable guy. But yeah, if you have a wonderful girlfriend who you find very attractive, who loves you and you have a great connection with, then yeah, you can see pretty girls, but really you're going to be thinking, no, I want to go back home to my woman. So that's hopefully the mindset you'll have. But yeah, I guess a con is that you are off the dating market. Hopefully your girlfriend's off the dating market as well. Hopefully she's not messaging guys behind your back or flirting with guys at work. Again, there's some horror stories out there, isn't there? But hopefully you've chosen a girl who respects and loves you, and I'm sure if you're a switched on guy, you'll be able to spot that very quickly. Next user says, honestly, it's nice to have someone to talk to and have date nights with, but also you lose a lot of your freedom and free time. Yeah, I enjoy date nights, especially when I organise them, but it's all the more special when she's gone out her way and she treats me. Never used to watch a lot of TV or movies when I was single, but when I'm with her, like, we enjoy watching movies together, going to the cinema, so that is nice. But that's probably one of the cons, actually. I think I have become much more lazy since being in a relationship with her, but we do now travel more. We go on lots of holidays, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't go on many holidays by myself if I was single. So that's a positive that no one's mentioned here about going on travel and on these like more extravagant dates, so to speak. I know holiday isn't really viewed as a date, but I'm trying to mold it together to show that you seem to go on more experiences if you're in a relationship. So that's something I've noticed in my relationship that I would definitely put down as a positive. The next one says, you're part of a team sharing the good and the bad and building a life together. Hopefully you are building a life together and it's, going towards something much more serious in the long term. But even if you're just dating for a short period of time, you still want to improve each other's lives during that period and have, that those great memories together. Um, Funnily enough, this guy actually says, well, that's a pro, it's also a con. So yeah, just copy and paste that. It can also be a con too. Someone says, I'm 33, was dating my wife for 10 years, been married for 7 now. We've been together for more than half our lives. Knowing you have someone you can rely on at any moment is amazing. The companionship as you grow together is a huge benefit. Yeah, well, that sounds like a lovely story, but we just saw with Richard Hammond, the Top Gear celebrity, and he's been with his wife, since before he was famous, and I think they were married for 40 years, and now she's filed a divorce. And obviously, I don't know Richard Hammond firsthand, but from the outside, he seems like the most genuine, kindest man ever. And yeah, even they've been together for nearly half of their lives, and what does she do? She files a divorce and takes the house. So I really hope this user has a happy ending to their love story. But it might seem great, but before you know it, she could have pulled the rug from under your feet, so to speak. A girl has commented here. She says, as a woman, these comments are very depressing. Wow. Guys are sometimes quick to say they don't just want you for sex, but most of the pros were sex and cons were money. Listening to her normal relationship stuff, yikes. I haven't seen those negative comments yet, maybe I haven't scrolled down enough. But yeah, obviously, sex and intimacy is very important, otherwise you're just friends. Like, if you're going to be in a relationship, you don't have sex, you might as well just be friends at that point. And guys aren't in relationships for friendship. And the con she mentions is money. Yeah, women are very expensive, and divorce is expensive. So, yeah, I think being in a relationship does, make you have higher goals and make you want to work harder because you have to provide for her to a certain extent and you want to impress her. So, in that regard, you might earn more money in the long run because you're putting more effort into it because you've got to support her and a possible family and mortgage in the future. So yeah, I think that's a very understandable con regarding money. But yeah, this woman sounds a bit bitter, so we'll carry on scrolling. Someone says, "Let me answer your question with a question. What's your opinion on the ground troops in Afghanistan?" Yeah, I guess a funny Reddit post, but yeah, I'm not very up to date with my politics and religion. Didn't the troops leave Afghanistan? I might be wrong there, but anyway, let's get back to the relationship stuff. I have learned that if you get a good one, there aren't that many cons. I completely agree. If you've got a keeper, then you're not going to see these red flags that you see so much online that puts you off dating. Another con here from a guy says they are too emotional. Yeah, I think the way I deal with that is like, I just know obviously she's a woman and she's going to be emotional. So if she does like lose her cool and gets a bit over the top about a certain thing, I just remember men and women are different. This is just ingrained in her biology. This will pass. Just listen to her, be calm, and yeah, not lose your shit yourself because you both don't want to be overly emotional. So just about how you deal with it, and when you get used to dating women and being in long-term relationships, this just becomes second nature. So don't worry too much about her being over emotional, but you need to start worrying if that over emotion becomes physical or is a bit too dramatic, that could cause you issues. But a little bit of drama from a woman is expected. Let's go to a pro now. So someone says, someone who makes you laugh and to create great memories with. Yeah, you want a girlfriend who's funny, right? I know in a lot of dating apps, women want a funny guy. That's like one of the highest things. It's probably in the top five of what a woman most wants in a guy. But I make her laugh a lot, but sometimes she makes me laugh, and I don't laugh a lot. I'm not much of a laugher, so she's quite a rare girl to make me laugh. And yeah, you want someone to be goofy with, someone to, act younger than your actual age, and yeah, life's supposed to be fun. You do only live once, and you want someone to be fun and adventurous with. So absolutely, laughter and sharing jokes together is super important. This user says, living alone, being single is so much more freeing. I do miss companionship at times, but overall, I'm much happier as life stands now, being single, and don't have any immediate plans to get into a serious relationship anytime soon. Yeah, I'm actually like super jealous of seeing these guys on Reddit showing their male living space. Some of these guys live in these like really nice apartments by themselves. They can decorate their place as much as they want to, and yeah, I think that's every man's dream. I think that's why a lot of men have their own little man caves in the basement area. So I would say that is a massive con. I think men ideally would actually like to live by themselves, but then obviously invite their girl over as much as possible. But girls always want to move in with their man very early on, so that's something you gotta deal with. This person says sex because it's better than wanking. Um, yeah, porn is not great. I've stopped watching porn a very long time ago, and I do not miss it. But yeah, there's nothing quite like being inside the woman that you are crazy about. Um, but yeah, to be fair though, porn will be less of a headache and will not divorce you. So there is that. But yeah, again, companionships and that sexual intimacy, we are going to see it a lot, and hopefully if we were on the Ask Women subreddit, they'd also say the same. They want to be embraced by their man sexually, and yeah, I'm sure they'll call us dirty sods, but yeah, this is just normal. We're human beings after all. A lot of people are saying, yeah, doing activities together. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of sex being important, emotional support, and activities. I've already said this. Yeah, doing stuff together, going on these experiences, taking lots of photos. We like to take a lot of photos and put them in a memory book. So yeah, going on holidays together and capturing those moments where you can hopefully look through that album book with your grandchildren by your side. That's every man's dream, isn't it? So this guy says, I would gladly tell you, but the problem is I've never had a girlfriend or in a relationship, so I can't add to this conversation. Look, it will happen to you if you want it to happen to you. You just got to work on yourself and be the best version of yourself, and then the women will come. But yeah, unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of young guys just completely, not get involved with dating, and I find that very sad actually. But I completely understand where they're coming from. Um, Women are difficult, and if you've been hurt before, it makes you feel like you don't want to get back into the dating game and be hurt again. I completely understand that. If you are really worried about the repercussions, you can get into long-term relationships with girls, but you have to set the boundaries early on that you don't want to get married, you don't want to live together. A lot of women will turn that down, but there might be women who agree with you and they like you so much that they understand you don't want that commitment, and they'll respect that. They're probably a dime a dozen, but it's something you can look into. So I wouldn't completely disregard dating altogether, because I think men and women should be together, and they can be the icing on top of the cake in your life. So I'm a happier man because of it. Do I miss being single? There's parts of being single I miss, but when you find a great girl, it really does show you all the bad experiences before were just bad women. And it doesn't mean all women are like that. It just means you avoided the bad women before, and be thankful that you didn't knock them up or put a ring on it. So I'm thankful every day for that. Final few before I finish my drink. So this guy says a con. having sex with the same person. Um, I wonder if women think this as well. Like, do women get bored of the same dick for the rest of their life? I'm sure they do. What I've noticed about women is they talk about sex with their friends more than men do. Like, I don't speak about sex or my sexual relationship with my girlfriend or other girls I had in the past with my guy friends. Like, we don't talk about women or sex. Maybe it's just my group of friends are a bit weird, but honestly, I don't think a lot of guys do. We don't really get involved with that type of talk. But when my girlfriend's telling me about her work colleagues, all they do is talk about sex and, who they find attractive and if they had sex the night before. And her workmates are from like the age of 60 all the way down to their 20s. Like, it's a big variety. So women are talking about sex all the time, so it must be very important to them. So I would imagine that they probably do get bored of having sex with the same man. And yeah, do I get bored of having sex with my girlfriend? Look, we're only just over a year in, about a year and a half now, so maybe it's too early to say, but no, I think the world of her and I find her very attractive. So as of right now, I'm not getting bored of the sex. Obviously, there was much more fire in the first few months of dating because it was new and exciting. That has died down. I don't need sex from her as much as I did before, but it doesn't mean I'm getting bored of her or think any less of her. It's just you do become comfortable and she's not a new thing anymore, and I think that's a completely normal thought process to have. So we'll do one more con and then one more pro. This con says you have to listen to her rants and all the issues she has with her friends. Hopefully the girlfriend you have isn't still having arguments with her girlfriends or friendship group. Hopefully she's more grown up and avoids the drama. But yeah, you do have to do a lot of listening. I do about 20% of the talking in my relationship and she does 80%. So they love to talk. They love to talk about themselves. All you got to do is ask questions. They will test you if you've been listening. So try and make sure you're listening and not daydreaming. But no, you want her to feel heard and understood. So ask her questions. Show an interest in how her day at work is. Ask her how she's feeling. And in the long run, it will help you out. And then she'll be really happy that you've been listening, and she'll give you a happy ending at the end of the night. So yeah, it can become a bit boring or tiresome because us guys, we don't talk as much, and to be honest, we probably don't want to know too much about how your day's been. But at the same time, I do want to know how her day's been. I want to know she's happy, and if there are any issues, I want to try and help her out. But yeah, women like to talk, and guys, you just got to learn to listen. So let's end with a pro. Someone says someone to talk to, intimacy, emotional and physical, sex. Okay, so I think we're duplicating a lot of these now. Sex is important, we understand that. Someone to talk to, that companionship. Nobody wants to be lonely. I think that is the most difficult thing after a relationship falls apart. You do feel lonely. You do want to reach out and have that conversation with someone that you've been talking to for so long. But at the same time, you can talk to a lot of people. You can have a really good tribe of men who you talk to, try and improve your relationship with your family, speak to more people in public, so you can get around that. But yeah, when you're used to speaking to that one person throughout your life, you're going to miss that, aren't you, if that person leaves your life. Intimacy emotionally, yeah, that emotional connection is just as important as the physical connection. But yeah, us men we like our physical intimacy, and a woman who shares that, then that's great. You don't want to be dating just a friend, do you? So yeah, I think that's everything. Overall, I'm very much in favour of being in a relationship, but only if the girl is good for you. I do not have time for women who disrespect you and brings more drama to your life and unhappiness. What's the saying? You want a girl who makes your dick hard, not your life hard. So we'll end on that. Cheers, guys, and I'll speak to you later.